What's up, guys? Alicia Tatiana here. Gonna do a reading today. I don't really know what Spirit wants me to talk about yet. We're gonna kind of just free flow. But yeah, checking in with y'all. Shit has definitely turned from water to fire for sure. It's definitely transformed me into that. I feel like that we still have that water to us, though, definitely. Still heightened emotions. If you kind of think of the start of each season, we're kind of in the lower end or the lower dimensional aspects to that season. So like for Leo season, going from Cancery waters to fiery Leo energy, there is a lot more passion and a lot more just kind of aggression in a sense. It could be very egotistic, kind of overconfident in a sense. But yeah, a lot could be from the watery still. The watery aspects of Cancer still showing up and being present in people's lives. So definitely can feel that in so many people's energies, my own energy. But it is good because I do see it really igniting a lot of masculine energy. Not just, in the males, of course, just feeling it even within myself. Feel very protective, very confident lately, feeling a little more energy finally coming back. Those Cancery waters can have us in that moon energy, right? I even feel swollen from Cancer season and like all the moon energy that was so present there. But yeah, now that we've stepped into the Lion's Gate, or the Lion's Gate is opening, we have stepped into the portal. We are going to start feeling this more fast movement, right? And what does that really look like in the spirit world? Well, the sun is kind of hitting its peak when it comes to, astrology and even just cosmology, talking about, the sun being at the highest point in the northern hemisphere. And so what that's doing is really giving us really good solar energy. But because Cancer season was so watery, of course our soil's a little muddy still, right? So we're really being asked to really being asked to just be patient as our waters really get sapped up, as the water energy dries up a little bit. Allow it to dry up slowly. We want to keep us hydrated. We want to keep our plants hydrated. We want to bring in a lot of fire energy, in other words, kind of chill out on the water energy, right? But yeah, be patient. It's a lot. It can be a lot. It could be that much more extra if you make it that, or if you allow it to be that. So be patient right now. Try to find some calm. Ways to really control your fires. Literally, like ice baths is really good right now. I'm always getting downloaded to do ice baths heavy right now because, the electromagnetic field, the Earth's core is warming up even that much more with the sun being so heavily present over the northern hemisphere, especially, here in the United States. And so, we have to be ready to expand, to get more illumination. to even have epiphanies and have some awakening experiences that are going to really help ignite growth. Okay, so let's say that this tower moment or this spark causes a tower moment, right? Let's say that this tower moment is not very expected. Maybe it's not all that. The fire, I shouldn't say all that. And maybe it's not a good experience. Maybe it's a little bit more of a negative tower. Whatever that may be, at least what was no longer strong, foundationally wise within you, was no longer supposed to be, present in your life, or what is no longer, whatever is needing transformation, right? Even if someone, let's say, passes on, right? They're transforming into one 3D body aspect to another, right? At least what I believe. Allow the transformation, allow yourself to really come out of this cocoon, out of this chrysalis, right, where we went in as a caterpillar into the cocoon, and now we've come into a chrysalis being, and it takes time to get out of that. It takes time to make you such an earthly based creature to a little more higher perspective of that butterfly, right? Love it. Allow yourself to just be, right? To actually just be a human being, right? Let's get a couple animals. I am going drawn to the animals. Let's see what they need to say. Higher perspective. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. Sun energy. Okay. What I see with this card is that the sun is being pulled up by a new sense of freedom, a new sense of self-mastery, a new higher perspective. Okay, so this new higher perspective is literally like lifting up the veil of whatever needed to be shown, and it's allowing you to have more freedom. This eagle is bringing in that spark, right? That solar energy, that fire, the spark, right? Freedom, liberty, and justice, right? That just came to me. I see that obviously, in the United States, the eagle represents a lot of the United States of America energy, and those are some heavy words, but when we think about the eagle, we truly do need to think about freedom. Having a bird's eye or an eagle's eye view, being, having this higher perspective, being free, being pretty, not top of the food chain, but you're pretty high up there, right? Air energy. We need air to really feel that fire, right? We need to get that shit going. Let's go. Air and fire, a little bit of air and fire. So what that reminds me of is that Mercury is also in its house. Mercury is the planet of communication. Mercury rules over Virgo and Gemini. Mercury is a communicator, a messenger of God. So when we talk about Mercury energy. In the Egyptian pantheon, it is Thoth. In the Greco-Roman, we have Hermes with the caduceus. When I believe, we're not going to go that far because it's just more of a opinion, but dragonfly energy, more air, more higher perspective, right? More seeing things from up here. What I see with this dragonfly is, and what I think of too, is dragonflies really like water energy. I see that with the blue. Again, oh, wow. We're talking about Mercury, the communicator, right? Ruler of Gemini and Virgo. Gemini is more of the higher communicator of the throat chakra. And Virgo is actually more of the intuitive communicator, in a more intuitive base, right? Which is actually very important when it comes to, you know, our gut health and intuition and kind of that gut heart connection, right? Okay, so that's Virgo. Gemini, let's talk about the throat. We just got, so Mercury is in his home, which is Virgo, but it also rules over and kind of is like the two serpents that are like on Hermes, caduceus, really coming through with the communication. So Geminis are really good communicators. How do I know? I'm a Gemini. I'm like full-blown Gemini. So I'm a Gemini sun, moon, Venus, and Jupiter. So I have 4 of my major big planets in Gemini. So we are good communicators. What this dragonfly is telling me is we are going to be communicating from a higher perspective. This higher perspective energy is just really coming to me. Okay. When we talk about Leo energy, we're talking a lot about solar sun energy, right? So we talk a lot about the solar plexus. So I don't know if you guys felt this, but as Leo season was really coming in, there was a lot of like stomach things going on. I know my stomach and even my appetite is just like fucking cash. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta eat today. I like have to remind myself because I just been so like, food has just been interesting to me. I'll just say that. But when it comes to really drawing these energies from the solar to the crown is also ruled by sun, solar energy. Okay, so the crown chakra is really how we take in information from the collective and from the higher realms, from the solar system. Okay, so what is really coming to me and what has been coming to me lately a lot with the sun energy and with the Maya calendar, the Maya illusion really fully ending and coming to a close. So what's coming to me a lot is that we are becoming of a not so earthly based, so rooted down in what the earthly experience has been giving us, right? We are starting to see things from a higher perspective, right? We are becoming more liberated by that as well. And it's almost addicting when you start to get away from all the fucking bullshit, right? But so what I really see is like this real big a mass awakening, especially when it comes to that masculine aspect, right? When we have solar energy, we're talking about fire. Fire is a masculine element. So that's funny because dragons, like actual dragons, right? They're like fire breathing dragons. Again, that's what I see with this communication card. So the blue is the color of the throat chakra. Okay, so we are really like really communicating is what I'm seeing, especially because Mercury is in his own house, Virgo. Um, and that just comes with all, you know, with this real big awakening, you know, and this awakening that's going to kind of liberate us a lot, you know, like, damn, I didn't realize how much that was like controlling me, having me under this illusion, having me so caught up and like bound down, right, by these earthly based thoughts, right? It's just what's coming to me. I know I've been dealing with my own things around this, talking about this as well. So communication, really awakening again, this like higher solar aspect. I really feel like we're having this good connection between, yeah, like our gut health, our intuition, what our intuition is telling us, and then, you know, being able to really draw that energy, this solar plexus energy, where we can get stuck with ego if we're not pulling that energy up with an open heart, which fucking Cancer season busted open all of our hearts, like, let's just be honest. And a lot of that space is allowing for us to have this activation here. We are fully open and swollen with this, all this Cancer fire emotional energy, right? And then we're also speaking of the throat and a new way of expressing ourselves, a way of one sec. Okay, so they say a new way to channel your dragon into more of like a soft, like dragonfly, right? To really use your expression though, to allow yourself to explain and to really be in this Leo energy of just like, all right, this is who the fuck I am. I'm no longer under this, you know, illusion. You know, I'm sick of fucking living. Here's me all opening up my throat chakra with big cuss words. But just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you know, not being the full-blown dragon, right? We're channeling this energy within. We are learning how to really use this energy, channel it, and then use it in a proper way, right? If we're just out here just like, then we're like using all of our different energy sources, all of our different resources, all of our chemicals for the, you know, these chemical processes we need. So it's really good to channel the dragon in whatever way that is, right? Whether your dragon is like a sex dragon, whether it's like this financial thing aspect of you, you know, whether it's your dragon is just like being so insecure and filling voids with relationships. So just keeping, you know, whatever, however you want to look at what your inner dragon is. We're really allowing these waters. Oh, what did I saying? The heart waters, right? To swallow open that heart and allow these like waters to really soften up our expression, right? Not be so much of the fire dragon, but be more of like a water dragon. This is the spirit says this is your water tiger. The water tiger? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Chinese New Year, or the Chinese Year of the Tiger, but they say the water tiger. I'll have to check that. Hopefully. Liberation, baby. All right, we need one more animal. Come on. Come on, spirits. Let's see what's up. Yeah. Give me that. Transformation. Really, really, really transforming. Really, really moving that serpent energy up, right? Really shedding our skin, shedding the olds, allowing the new. Very uncomfortable process for the snake to shed their skin. Some snakes will not even do it properly because it's so uncomfortable that it will literally suffocate them. So, at a point we have to realize, the skin gotta go. And we really have to understand that that's like what life is, right? It's just a continuum of like a journey. It's not, it's not the destination. Of course, we're gonna set up destinations along those journeys, right? But it's not about those destinations. Okay, thank you. So Spirit is saying that there's a lot of Scorpio energy here, right? That's correct. So the Scorpio is Scorpio, the zodiac sign is ruled by the scorpion, of course, but also the eagle. Okay, so, and what a lot of people put Scorpio energy with is just the serpent energy in general, right? So we have the dragon and the snake. Sacred serpent, let's go, what's up? All this good energy, transformational energy, guys. Really learning how to work with our inner dragons, right? We don't want to oppress them. I love and I believe that some of the best way to go about life is to allow the monster to be present and to understand what that monster wants and needs and where that monster really is, right? It's usually like, our internal child, some type of like experience we got stuck at, our soul got stuck at, kind of in a way, right? So first a piece of our soul is fragmented and stuck somewhere. We need to like capture it, right? Sometimes we have to become the dragon in order to face the dragon, right? So allow the transformation. That's what Spirit keeps telling me. Just allow this transformation. We're talking about the butterfly, right? Really allow this like uncomfortable, like threshold feeling is what's coming to me. When we go through a threshold, it's like, and through this like tight space, it's very uncomfortable, it feels suffocating, but that is when the butterfly is getting its strength, right? It's like its wings, literally, if you bust it open, its chrysalis for it, it would not be able to fly properly, because that's what it's getting its strength from, is like going through this like very suffocating, rebirthing process. What did I tell you guys? Rebirthing that masculine energy, right? Yeah, the fact that I see one snake here and one dragon here. In my last videos, I talk about how it is natural for the Venus energy, the feminine energy, to be first with getting to a new zodiac sign, because Venus literally in astrology moves faster than Mars. Mars will catch up with Venus at some points in throughout the year, but Venus energy always stays ahead. So what does that mean? Well, the feminine energy is what grounds the heavenly energy here. Okay, so if the feminine is dry, if it is, emotionless, doesn't have that heart space, water to keep it real soft, right, and real just tilled and ready to take seeds, right? That father energy, that father seed, the air that brings the seeds, or brings a lot of fertilizer, right? And brings a lot of like seeds and different dust, to really nurture the plants. And then the sun energy has to, the solar energy. So if we don't have good soil to catch that, good rains, emotions to nurture that, right? We don't have good soil and good ways to plant good crops, abundance, growth, future, you know. So that does us no good, right? That doesn't leave us abundant for the winter times where we can't grow. So what's coming to me still is how the feminine has gone through this rebirth. A lot of feminines got called to sacred sexuality, awakening experiences, the breath work. We got past even we could do yogas and shit still, but we even got, further along psychedelic medicine. And it's been nice because there's been a good male presence in this aspect as well. But with the masculine, the overall masses of the masculine, they're now going through a rebirth. And you can tell it's a very uncomfortable process. Because not only, even as a feminine, my masculine is like, it's beautiful because I've really reparented myself, right? I really allow my eternal child to come out with a lot of play, dance, connecting with people, right? But also having that alone time, that kind of like, I'm playing here while everybody's playing in their own space kind of thing, And so now when it comes to me rebirthing my masculine, I'll have this really good, eternal child energy that will feed that masculine well. I will have this good parenting that will help that child really grow, but in a good way, right? In a good way where we learn proper sexuality, proper connections, proper ways of expression of like love and emotion, but also good structures, right? And the activities that we do every day, the structures that we attend to need to be real, connected to the realness of life. Because yes, like we could go about teaching our masculine to be this like outgoing star, this, that, social media, all this stuff. But if we're putting too much structure of that structure into our structure, it could leave us a little kafooey with the changes of the world right now, right? It's just what's coming to me. All right. You guys want some archetype cards? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Get some water. I've been talking like way too fucking much lately. And this probably goes with a lot of just that like throat activation. We've had a lot of throat activation over this last 3 months, especially. There's just a lot of Mercury was in Gemini, then we kind of had this like softening with the Venus energy. Yeah, blah blah blah. My joint before we flip these cards. Express yourself, guys. Open up use that heart opening activations. Spirit showing me Men, that masculine energy really pounding their chest, kind of like the ape, and activating their heart using this like fire, because obviously, you know, fire is going to affect men in a lot more of like a passionate, let's go get it fucking done type of way. Women use it as like a heart activator, right? Definitely still very passionate, very sexual. Okay. So sorry, Spirit's giving me a ton of stuff right now. What that's doing for the women aspect. Okay. So Spirit says Venus is in Cancer, so it's very heart opening, okay? But with women right now, we're being activated also by the solar plexus, right? So for women, it's causing more of a sacred activation. So I see the red rose. This is where a lot of the Mary Magdalene rose codes come in right now. Okay, so yeah, for women it's more of the sacred, where with men it's more, like I said earlier, solar. Their hearts got activated with Cancer season, like way more than masculines have been in a while. But it's also bringing this more crown solar energy. Where's Mars? Is Mars in Taurus right now? Gemini. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, Mother. It's time to go experience now. What you've been reading about, what you've been seeing on people do, what you've been interested in, what you really are ready to transform into. It's time. And it's time to not only transform into that, but experience that, to feel it. Spirit says, yeah, the orange. We're talking about the sacred chakra. So the sacred chakra is orange. Renewing ourselves to have more of a mystic experience of this realm. The mystic goes about experiencing, using the senses to experience life, okay? When we talk about tantrikas and tantra and sacred sexuality, we are all about filling our fills, filling everything, feeling, even being open to feeling pain and suffering and uncomfortableness for the sake of just experiencing a new, and usually these experiences are risky. They're push us to the edge, right? They are from jumping off the cliff, you know, into the water. We'll say. Yeah, I just see this as a third eye, which gets really activated when we, of course, have big crown chakra activation, right? Spirit says no. It's kind of bluish green, right? So it says it's more of us really expressing and opening up. Wow, look at that. Really expressing, showing off our new self with this eye and this look into the space between the heart and the throat. So really expressing our heart more, right? Sometimes we're just expressing kind of what's coming into here and not necessarily getting it down to the space and then allowing it to be expressed in the proper way after we draw it into the heart space and let it go, right? So sometimes, like for me, I naturally am just here all the time in the heart space between, or in the throat and the heart space, between the heart and the mind, right? So Spirit says this is more of knowing and seeing what your heart wants. Oh, wow, yeah. And it says, he's like, don't forget the bottom one. Okay. I didn't look at this, but, and also, so what he's saying, or what they're saying is, this is like between the heart and the throat. This is the solar, okay? And then this is the sacred, and being able to really have a good view of, and we're talking kind of like a third eye view, right? Where there's not necessarily anything there, but there is, right? There's so much. And so we need to open up these eyes as well that really allow us to be constantly seeing the world, but through our intuition and through our heart. Is what Spirit wants to know. That was thank you. Thank you. Everything, you can get it. Poetic justice. What does a poet do? It has such a view into the heart, right? And it expresses itself through wording, through everything, through writing, through color usage and rhythm, heart, tears, right? Emotion really runs through each and every one of these words and sentences and paragraphs and Spirit's like, don't forget the memes. Right? That like I don't know, even like when it was coming to me is fucking, oh no, Silverstein. Something Silverstein. Silverstein. Anyways. Oh my god, now it's gonna leave me. Okay, relax. Where the sidewalk ends. Yes, thank you. So, you know that imagery that just like catches you, right? It's like the most bogus kind of imagery, right? It's like I pretty much can like probably draw the same type of like illustration, but for whatever reason, with the words of him, that's Mr. Silverstein, I believe, hopefully, it just like fucking catches you, right? That's kind of what memes are in a sense. It's like this more subconscious marketing, really. It's like the best actually marketing, subconscious marketing when it comes to social media, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm just seeing is like, it's a way of really getting ourselves out there, right? Marketing. Yeah, that's where I'm going with all this shit. So when we talk about the poet, we talk about a way of expressing and getting our thoughts, but also in tune with our heart is what I'm seeing. This light, right? It's like at the heart space. Letting the mind be released, right? Through words, while we're still like grasped onto that heart, right? And we need that. We need to kind of allow the mind to go, right? These senses can really overpower our entire existence, right? And when we shut them all down, obviously you can't shut down your breathing, right? But you can do different breathing exercises. You can actually introduce more breathing into your world, right? So yeah, to get that heart space just really lit up. It's definitely one of my breath work meditations is like whenever I breathe in, it's just like my heart space, like the glow gets bigger and bigger to where it like engulfs me. And that's kind of what the poet can be, right? It's like this, just like heart space, just glow, just yeah, like I've been saying, the Cancer heart swelling, right? This real activation of the heart space, allowing this solar energy, this confidence, this reborn of this like masculine energy, how they show up in the world, how they wear their crown now, right? Their crown chakra. It's really being activated up here for the men, and for women, we're getting ready for our descent into the underworld, right? That is the feminine aspect of this our entire existence. So we are stepping into the portal to get ready to go into the underworld, right? So this is where I come up with the my spirit's telling me about the, speaking of Mary Magdalene and the sacred rose codes, because we are getting activated to be prepared for the death and the rebirth, the resurrection, right? Next year. But barely falling into it. It sounds so like, but we're barely just getting into the peak of summer, right? And so that peak of summer, as it starts to wind down, wane down. That's a moon term though. I'm trying to think of what the descent down. Yeah, we are going to be receiving our harvest, reaping our abundance. The more sun we allow in, right, the bigger our harvest can be. But if we keep those waters flowing, those plants receive all the nutrition that they need, right? Those fruits and veggies we all planted, right? You guys all planted your fruits and veggies, right? Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be coming up into kind of a interesting winter, right? So the more in tuned and the more rebirth we have, but in a sense of our spirituality, our connection to one another, our connection to the mother, and then our that rebirthing of that father energy, that like kind of dark patriarchy that's been so hyper driven, right? Hyper masculinity has been pretty heavy. So, us allowing ourselves to transform, to have a new experience on this earthly plane, right? A more human being experience. Allow us to be in our fucking hearts, Ooh, spirits like all these birds are from earlier. What I love about the dragonfly card and the snake coming out is I just see like a winged serpent energy, like a Quetzalcoatl energy. And being free with the eagle. Blessed be. Let's put that into the world. Being free, even really like I said, rebirthing the patriarchy, right? Rebirthing our United States, right? The illusion is gone. So when we talk about the Mayan calendar, we here in the United States go by a Gregorian calendar. We are 8 years ahead of some of the like tribal beings, the more indigenous realms and timings, okay? So the Maya illusion was breaking actually in 2020. And we saw this. As soon as that eclipse, that last that eclipse, last eclipse of 2020, no, I'm sorry, 2019 brought it in, they said. Yeah. So the last eclipse, so eclipses are actually known as like the New Year's in more like indigenous ancient civilization. So this is why time is never really like perfect when it comes to this aspect of the world, right? So when we talk about the Maya calendar ending, we're told here and we're started to push this illusion that the world is ending, in 2012, right? Because according to our Gregorian calendar, 8 years ahead, we are pushing the Maya calendar ending. So what is that doing? That is funneling more energy, of course, right? They're opening up these huge portals of fear, and then we're talking about the world ending, right? Them knowing, oh yeah, in 2020, the last eclipse of 2019 ending is going to bring in COVID. Right? Then the world is then in a panic and in a fear. And we're supposed to have COVID. I'm just gonna put it out there. We made it a lot worse with being so, news-based. Oh, go fucking swab your nose with these manufactured made cotton swabs. Fucking put it right next to your third eye, please. Please, let's just swab this shit, right? I don't believe COVID would have been as bad. Why was it meant to be? We've been so disconnected in this realm that spirit, God, universe, however you want it, Mother Earth, she wanted us reconnected again. And what did COVID do? It spread the fuck out of all this virus, right? So what are we doing? We're connecting with different people, right? We get this virus from different people. But not only are we getting that, but we're also having this ginormous cleansing of, a lot of us got it in the upper, like, sinuses, right? Crown, third eye awakening. Then a lot of us got it in the upper, you know, that second round was the like throat, the upper respiratory, right? And then the third round got us in the, it got me especially in the kidneys and in the stomach and like the lower lungs. I couldn't eat for a whole week. But what is that doing? We're connecting through a different virus. Yes, it sounds dangerous. It is dangerous. When you have to heat up your body's like, what the fuck is this? Right? And we're fighting things, but we're also detoxing, really. Right? This virus is telling our body, hey, it's time to rid this shit. It's time to allow these realms of us to open up so we can receive these codes. And this is what I've sat with, you know, in meditation with a lot of different people that have sat with Mother Aya in ceremony about COVID, you know. And, you know, when we come back from this huge fragmentation that we're all in, right? All these dimensions that we've been pulled into, right? And we start to pull ourselves back into even just the polarity of masculine and feminine, or good and bad, right? Even that yin and yang of us, the duality, the polarity of the world. It still goes back to the one, right? It still goes back to God, to source, to Mother Nature, however you want to put it. To all of it. So when we start to think of these really chaotic, fucked up things that have been happening, it's actually us really just truly destructing the patriarchy. It's like, it's time for you guys to fucking show yourselves and where your weaknesses are, because we need to show people where we need to like step out of these bounds, right? We want to be free from the patriarchy. We want to rebirth our masculine aspect with less oppression of the feminine. Why? Because this hyper masculinity, working a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, having like 4 hours to yourself before you have to go to sleep, it's not the fucking life. And the Aquarian age is asking us all to find our independence, find our sovereignty. That's why Spirit's like, make sure you plant your fucking plants, right? Because at any moment they can cause this huge disruption within our realm and cause this huge portal of fear, right? But if we start to take a step back, what did I say? Allow pain, the suffering, to show us where our dragon is, right? What is that dragon going to do? It's going to awaken a whole aspect of us, that we start to see the outer world in a whole different way. We no longer have this fear. If God wants me to go out with the virus, that's how how they choose, mother and him. I go back to the mother. They choose when, those heavenly realms choose when I go, when my soul's needed back. So when we start to take out the ego of death, right, we liberate ourselves. When we start to see our inner dragons, right, we become the dragon and we face ourselves. To transform. To experience this existence with all of our different body parts, our different cavities, all of this, they're constantly giving us messages. Like today, no, the other day, I just was like, fuck it, let's do in and out. Let's go in. And my body was just like, Mayday, Mayday. But then I also allowed myself to kind of come back in and be like, you deserve to relax, you know, you deserve to have this meal. You deserve to just like step out of your bounds, and even though you don't feel great, you feel like a fucking salt lick and you know, a big old burger in your belly's like, it's a lot sometimes. But then I enjoyed myself and I relaxed and I just allow myself to experience now, you know? But I also listen, and I also know, okay, this experience brought me so much fun and excitement and pleasure, but I am uncomfortable, so I'm gonna wait a little while till I do that again, right? I'm gonna be really in touch with my heart and really express and give my heart what it needs to be able to write my narrative in a new way. That's what Spirit's telling me. Right? So when we start to remember that we are the co-creator with the creator, and us staying within our heart space keeps us connected and tapped in with that, then we start to remember, you know, that a lot of these experiences, a lot of the polarities are always going to be there, right? But us staying tapped in and having faith and having less of a ego and ego based in fear, ego based in, you know, insecurities are based around what the 3D realm is trying to just like ingrain in us, right? We're transforming that. And we're bringing a whole new realm of masculinity. So we see how, let's talk about even like NFTs and crypto, how the hypermasculinity, kind of the dark patriarchy, was trying to get their hands into the cookie jar when it came to crypto, right? And so what we're seeing is kind of this huge like kind of shifting and wiping out, and we're going to start to see these realms come into a lot better of a standing, but we're going to be even less centralized because our masculine is now going to be rebirthed with the feminine aspects incorporated way more, not so oppressed where it's taken over. It's like, no, we want to have dry soil and nothing growing. We want no expansion. We just want to stay stuck in this fucking structure. Y'all need the fucking feminine. You need those waters. You need that play. You need good play. Heart-based play. It's different. It's different when you're numbing yourself and you're opening yourself. Know that. This reading was good. I love it. Find that mystic, find that poet. We all have an inner poet. We all have a story to tell. We all have a way to express ourselves. We all have a way to transform, really soften that inner dragon, have it well expressed, right? And to free ourselves. Use this illumination of your higher chakras. These are your higher chakras. Your lower chakras. okay? Your 3 lower chakras, they need to be in tune with this. And they are in tune at the heart space. The heart is where we are connected with Source. This is where the seed of our soul lies. Feed it. Nurture it with water. You guys have a great night.